How do you order a brand new vehicle to get the best deal possible? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Help Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. For this video, I'm going to go through the proper way to order a new vehicle from a dealer step by step. That'll save you the most amount of time and money. With over 10 years experience as a consumer advocate and consultant, this is how I coach consumers to help them get the best deal and avoid buyer's remorse. But before we get into it, remember, if you enjoy and get value out of this video, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. And a huge thanks to OMVIC, Ontario's vehicle sales regulator, for sponsoring a portion of this video. Now, when it comes to purchasing or ordering a new vehicle, there are 3 pillars to the process, all of which are equally important if you want to get the best overall deal. And these 3 pillars include the purchase price of the vehicle itself, the financing costs or the borrowing costs, and that includes the interest rate if you're financing or leasing the vehicle, and the 3rd pillar is your trade-in vehicle. Now, you want to maximize all 3 of these pillars and get the best price on each in order to get the best overall deal. Now, let's assume that you already know which vehicle that you want to purchase and you're ready to just go ahead and deal with the dealership. Well, the first thing that you're going to want to do before you contact any dealerships is to visit the car manufacturer website so that you can get an idea of what the baseline price of the vehicle is. So say, for example, you want to order a brand new Toyota RAV4. Well, all you have to do is go to toyota.com or toyota.ca and see what the manufacturer's suggested retail price is with all of the mandatory fees. And if we take a look at the RAV4 that I want to purchase right here, we can see that it has an all-in price of $35,874, including all your mandatory fees aside from your sales tax. So now that I know what the baseline price with all the mandatory charges is, I know that if I go to a dealership and they try and charge me a higher price than this, well, they're probably charging additional fees and add-ons that might not necessarily be mandatory, and I might be able to negotiate them out of the price. Now, the next step in the process is to obtain quotes from all the dealerships in your area. Now, there's absolutely no reason why you need to actually visit the dealership in person in order to obtain a price quote. Most professional dealerships have no problem sending you a quote by email, and any dealership that refuses to do so and requires you to come into the dealership in person in order to discuss any numbers, well, that's a dealership that's not being transparent or professional, and it's a red flag that you might just want to shop somewhere else. Getting a price quote remotely by email is the best way for you to carefully look over the price and know exactly what you're paying for, rather than being in a high-pressure sales environment where the dealership wants you to make a decision right on the spot. And getting multiple quotes from different dealerships is the best way to see which ones are going to offer you a lower price and which ones are going to charge all kinds of fees and add-ons that you might not necessarily need to pay. And that brings us to the next step of the process, which is going over the price quote and looking for any unnecessary fees or add-ons. This is where you want to compare the price that you got from the dealership to the price that you saw on the manufacturer website and see if there's anything extra that the dealership is adding in. Essentially, when you're purchasing a brand new vehicle, the only mandatory fees that you really should be seeing is the MSRP or the manufacturer suggested retail price, a freight and PDI or delivery and destination fee, which is mandatory on all new vehicles, a few small levies or charges including your licensing, title, and registration, which altogether should total no more than a few $100s, and of course also your sales tax. So if you see any additional add-ons on the price breakdown, including things like an anti-theft, security or etching fee, wheel and tire protection, key fob protection, exterior or interior protection products, well, these are all products that you might be able to negotiate out of the deal, or just go with a different dealership that's not going to charge them to begin with. Now let's take a look at a dealer price quote for the same Toyota RAV4 that I was looking at a little bit earlier. We can see in the price breakdown that we have all the mandatory charges, including the vehicle's MSRP, which matches what was on the Toyota website, the freight and delivery fee, all the small levies, and also the sales tax, all of which are mandatory. But then we also have a number of dealership fees that we were able to negotiate out of the price, which totaled $1,221. And if this were a vehicle that was a lot more readily available, I'd likely be able to negotiate an additional discount off the MSRP to get an even better deal. But because this is a model that has a very long waiting period, in my location roughly around 4 to 6 months after placing an order, well, getting a discount off the MSRP is just not realistic. So in this case, my savings are coming from the dealership fees, which is perfectly fine for a vehicle like this that has a really long wait time. Now at this point, even though you have a price quote from the dealership and you know what the final price of the vehicle is, it's important to understand that this price is not exactly set in stone, at least if you're ordering a vehicle that has a really long wait time. For example, if you're ordering a vehicle that has a wait time close to 1 year long, and you know that you're going to be getting a 2025 model year vehicle, but right now you only have a price for a 2024 model, well, the price is likely going to change between now and then. So if the manufacturer down the road decides to increase the price by say around $500 for the 2025 model year, well, that $500 is going to need to be added to the price quote that you already have. But what's not okay is if the dealership later on decides to add in extra fees and charges that they didn't have at the very beginning. This is why it's so important that you get a price quote before you order the vehicle so that you know exactly what the dealership is going to charge you for. And if they attempt to add in any additional charges when your vehicle arrives, well, you have that documentation to prevent them from doing that. Dealing with a dealership that's transparent and professional is extremely important, and when you buy or lease a new vehicle from an OMVIC registered dealership in Ontario, you do have rights under the Motor Vehicle Dealers Act. These rights include mandatory disclosures. For example, a registered dealer must disclose information about a vehicle's past usage, including if it was used as a taxi or a rental car, if it has a salvage or rebuilt title, or if it's been involved in a very serious collision, if it's been registered in another jurisdiction, or if it has any major mechanical issues. All of these things need to be disclosed to you ahead of time. All of these rights are there to help protect you and make a properly informed decision before you purchase a vehicle, but you can only take advantage of these rights if you buy from an OMVIC registered dealership with the protection under the MVDA. To learn more, just visit the OMVIC website. More information can be found in the description below. So now that we've finished negotiating the price with the dealership and we have a price quote, it's now time to move on to that second pillar that I mentioned, which are the borrowing costs or the financing. Now for this step, it's always a great idea to get pre-approved from your local bank or credit union before you go to the dealership, and you can even shop around and check a number of different banks in your area to see which one is going to offer you the lowest interest rate. And once you have this information, you can then go to the dealership and see what kind of interest rate they're going to offer you on their end. Now there is a chance that they might be able to match it or even beat it, but either way, at least you're going to know what the best rates are and which option is going to give you the best deal in the end. Now just like the manufacturer price of the vehicle, it's important to understand that if you're ordering a new vehicle that has a really long wait time, the interest rate during that time could change. Usually the interest rates are only guaranteed for around 3 months. So if you're ordering a vehicle that has a wait time of say 6 to 9 months or even longer, well, the interest rate is likely going to change during that time. And that brings us to the final and third pillar of the purchasing process, which is your trade-in car. Now when it comes to your trade-in car, you want to make sure that you negotiate this separately from the price of the new vehicle that you're purchasing. And you also want to make sure that the dealership is giving you the best value possible for your trade-in. Now in order to get the best price for your trade-in car, you are going to have to do a little bit of research online and also take advantage of instant cash offer tools that are available on different websites. These instant cash offer tools are extremely important to take advantage of because they'll give you real-world offers from different dealerships, so you'll know what the real wholesale value of your vehicle is. And once you've used all these different tools and know what your vehicle is worth and what different dealerships are willing to pay for it, then you can go back to the dealership that you're ordering your new vehicle from and see whether they're willing to match it or beat that offer. And if they are, great. But at least now you're going to be armed with the right information that you need so that the dealership is not going to lowball you on your trade-in. And again, with this step, if you're ordering a new vehicle that has a really long wait time, well, you might want to hold off until closer to when your vehicle arrives, because chances are the dealership is not going to honor a trade-in price that they give you at the beginning if the waiting period of your car is, say, around 12 months away. But what you do want to make sure that you have is all your proper documentation when you place the order for the vehicle. You want to make sure that you have your purchase agreement with the full price breakdown so you know exactly what you're paying. Don't let the dealership let you order a new vehicle without any paperwork. This is a huge red flag, and it's an opportunity for the dealership to change things on you and maybe charge you a higher price later on. Don't let the dealership give you an excuse like the pricing for the vehicle that you want is not available yet. Even if there is no pricing for, say, the 2025 model that you're ordering, they can always give you a price for the current 2024 model, with the understanding that the price is going to need to be amended later on when there's a price change and when that pricing is finally released. So no matter what, never order a new vehicle and make a deposit for it without leaving the dealership with all your proper documentation. It's extremely important to have that with you just so that you're protected later on. Now, even if you follow all these steps to help you get the best possible deal, there's no telling what could happen in other areas, including what the waiting period for your vehicle might ultimately end up being, and what kind of customer service and communication the dealership is going to give you. Which is why it's also a great idea to look up some reviews on the dealership that you're ordering from. Check out Google reviews and online reviews to see what other customers have said about the dealership. Have they been good at communicating with their customers? Have they been honest and transparent with the information that they're sharing with them, including estimated waiting periods? If all this information checks out online and other customers have had a really positive experience, well, that's going to help give you some peace of mind as well. There's no question that ordering a new vehicle, especially one that has a long waiting period, is not an easy process. But if you follow all the steps in this video, well, it should help make things a lot smoother and also help you save quite a bit of money in the end. So let me know what you thought of this video, and if you have any suggestions for any future car videos, just leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also check out my other videos by clicking these links over here. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, and if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.